Hi YouTube, welcome back to Not Another Whiskey Show, where today we are reviewing another whiskey. Today's bottle is a Woodford Reserve single barrel store pick from San Diego. This one has the great Tater sticker, this cherry Coke bomb. It really does kind of live up to its name. I've gone a few different ways with this bottle, but before we get into the review, let me just give you a little bit more info about it. This, like almost all of Woodford Reserve's products, unless you get into the really fancy stuff, is 45.2, which makes this 90.4 proof. It is non-age stated, but as a straight bourbon whiskey without anything under 4 years being listed, we can assume it's at least 4 years. It is a pot still versus a column still, so at least in other spirits, those typically give more bold flavors as being less sort of efficient production. They tend to capture those kind of heavier flavor compounds and end up giving a more typically unique whiskey or rum or whatever have you, but that's only part of the picture. But let's get into this now. So as I pour some, I'll tell you that I've had mixed feelings on this bottle. When I opened it initially, I really didn't care for it. Even up to filming this review, I was sort of certain I was going to tell you don't chase a bottle based on a sticker, and I do stand by that. But as I smelled this and let it breathe and it's opened up, you can see I've tried to work my way through. It really has improved. So I think that over the course of actually maybe even as much as a year, but getting a strong cherry syrup type flavor coming out. The component that, or the note that I think that they got that makes the cola is this herbaceous, almost rooty flavor, but it's not obnoxious or like bitter, at least on the nose. There is something, and it had previously been what kind of put me off. What I had been describing is almost like a wet leather. And I think that that is also part of what they're calling the cola bomb. But in general, it's a pretty pleasant nose. I would say that that leather has more of now a sweet tobacco note. And that musty kind of funkiness that I'm thinking is coming from the pot still has kind of blown off. So cheers to you. Let's take a taste. Okay, so it's pleasant. I mean, you do get a nice light cherry note nearly throughout the experience. Definitely bright on the palate at the end. It's sort of like you've had like a cherry limeade, that sort of bright high note of a cherry. It's not a full deep rich, but it's got that nice kind of bright note. Or like grenadine in like a grenadine drink, a Shirley Temple or something, that kind of like bright cherry sweetness. Of course, the barrel, the honey tobacco is coming through. Yeah. These are relatively low proof, so there's no ethanol burn. There's not a terribly long finish, but and the mouthfeel is decently complex. It's not like a a non-chilled filtered whiskey, which is much more kind of unctuous, but this is still really nice. And I think the more that you drink it, the more that it coats your mouth, the longer this persists. So I'm pretty impressed that these guys, as I understand it, probably just tasted this right out of the barrel and tasted what they, what they wanted to call it, found what they were looking for, so to speak. But yeah, this has been something that I'm happy to say has sort of shifted gears for me over its life, and one that I'm more happy to own now than ever, I can happily say. If you have an opportunity to try a liquor store that you like, one of their private selections, I'd say it's a good option. This is a liter. This probably came around, I'm going to say 55, somewhere around that probably for the bottle. But all in all, I think a pretty good value, especially when you get something that is uniquely special. So with that, we're still growing the channel. Everybody's probably new, so like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you've had a single barrel store pick out there you can't forget, any that you're sipping on now I ought to know and hunt, or any other bottles we ought to be on the lookout for and reviewing. Otherwise, take care, drink responsibly, treat each other well, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody. Bye.